Hello all, in today's experiment we are going to perform the port characteristics of the T's. So here we will talk about the E plane T, H plane T and EH plane T. But before performing the experiment we must understand what input we are giving to the T's. So let us see the setup which we are using always. So the first is nothing but the klystron power supply. Which we are giving to the klystron mount. As we know that a very high voltage is given, the klystron tube gets heated. That's why always we are providing cooling fan or the cooling to that klystron tube. The next component is the isolator, which protects our source from the reflections. The third component is frequency meter, which is in the X band, which measures the frequencies from 8 GHz to 12 GHz. Now let us see another component which is nothing but the attenuator, which attenuates the input given to it if it is required. The next component after that is nothing but the slotted line, whereas we are actually measuring the maximas and minimas of the standing waves. So we are able to find out the voltage standing wave ratio using this particular slotted line. And the last component here is nothing but the detector mount, whereas actual demodulation takes place and the output is given to the CRO. So this is the wave which we are using to modulate, or which we are using as a modulating signal, and our microwaves are the carriers. So here we are setting 1 volt. You can see the output is near about 1 volt. So here I'll set the output to the 1 volt. So that will be nothing but the input which we are giving to our T. So I'm just attenuating the input which I have obtained. So if I am giving the 1 volt, I'll be very comfortable to see the characteristics of the T's. So this is the 1 volt I have set it. Now our device under test is nothing but the T's which I'll connect before the detector mount. But the input which I am giving to the T's is nothing but the 1 volt to each and every port. Now let us see how we are going to connect the T's to this particular set. This is E plane T, whereas you can see here this is port number 1, this is port number 2 and this is port number 3. So whenever we are giving, now you can say that again if you reverse the direction you can denote the port number 1, port number 2, port number 3. But always this particular arm will be port number 3, and your collinear arms you can say 1 or 2, or you can say 1 or 2 will be okay. So here whenever you are giving input to the port number 3 here, if you are giving something to the port number 3, you will find the power will be divided equally in both the ports, but the phase shift of this two outputs will be 180 degree apart from each other. So let us see how that particular output is observed on the CRO. So here on the setup I have connected the same E plane T, whereas I have given the input to the port number 3. I can say this is the port number 1 and this is port number 2, and I am observing right now what is the output at port number 1 and port number 2. We know that we have given the input of 1 volt. So let us connect it, the detector mounts to each and every port. So I am observing some output on the CRO over there. So here you can see I have connected two detector mounts and I am observing the output on the CRO, which is nothing but the, you can say 180 degree apart from each other, but the output is divided like 0.5 volts, 0.5 volts. So upper waveform is nothing but the output of, you can say, the port number 1, and the below is nothing but the output of the port number 2. Now let us see the port characteristics of the E plane T. This is E plane T and this is also the E plane T. So let us say this is port 1, port 2 and a port 3. We have given here, you can see we have given the input to the port number 1. We are observing output at the port number 2, but when you are observing the output at the port number 2, your port 3 must be match terminated, whereas your characteristic impedance and your load impedance will be same. So here I am terminating port number 3 with the match termination, and I am connecting my detector mount to the port number 2. So here you can see whatever output you are observing on the CRO is nothing but the 0.7 volt. So I'll write that my input is given to the port number 1, I am observing the output at the port number 2 and I am terminating the port number 3. So it is 0.7 volt. Now I will reverse the direction. So here I'll connect the detector mount to the port number 3. Now whenever you are connecting your detector mount to the port number 3, your port number 2 must be matched terminated. So you can see the output here on the CRO, that is nothing but the near about 0.7 volts. So in both ways you have got the 0.7 volts. Similarly, when you are performing the experiments for other ports, your input will be port number 2. If you are checking the output at port number 2, your port 3 must be match terminated. If you are giving input to the port number 3, both the ports will give the equal output, but one port must be match terminated and other must be connected to the detector mount. So we have taken only one readings, other readings we will take. And now let us talk about the H plane T. Now here, as we have taken the two readings, we will write down that two readings here. The input is given 1 volt to the port number 1. At port number 2 we have observed 0.7 volts and port number 3 0.7 volts. Similarly, we will take the readings for port 2 and port 3. H plane T, whereas we can say any port as port number 1, port number 2, but always the auxiliary arm will be the port number 3. Here you can see whenever you are giving the input to the port number 3, now you can see here in the setup I have given the input to the port number 3. So whenever you are giving input to the port number 3, your input will get equally divided into both the ports, but it will be in the same phase. So let us see the output of these two ports first, and then we will talk about the port characteristics. So I am connecting one detector mount to the port number 2 and I am connecting one detector mount to the port number 1. So here you can see that on the CRO you are getting your output, which is nothing but the equal in the phase. So if I try to overlap that particular output, I can say my output will be in the same phase. So in phase output will be observed on the CRO. So this is nothing but how your input gets divided. Now let us talk about the port characteristics. So whenever you are connecting input to any port and checking output to the another port, your third port must be always match terminated. So here we are giving input to the port number 1. If this is a port number 1, input will be given to the port number 2. If you are checking the output at port number 2, your third port will be terminated. So let us see that port characteristics now. This is H plane T and we have given an input to the port number 1. Now we are interested what output come out of the port number 2. So to check the output at the port number 2, we must terminate our port number 3 with the match termination. So here I am observing on the CRO near about 0.7 volt because I have set it my CRO on 0.5 volts. So 7 divisions, 1 point, you can say the 2 divisions. So 7.7 volt is the output which is coming out of the port number 2. Now let us reverse the direction. If you are interested in the port number 3 output, connect the detector mount to the port number 3 and your match termination is to the port number 2. So you can see on the CRO you are getting same kind of the output, that is 0.7 volt. We will repeat the same procedure for other ports and we will write down the readings. Now let us see EH plane T characteristic. This is the EH plane T. As you can see, it is having a 4 ports, 1, 2, 3 and the 4. So how we are going to denote these ports? The collinear ports are always called as the port number 1, port number 2. This will be called as the port number 3 and this will be the port number 4. So we are giving input to the port number 1 here. So I have connected the same EH plane T to the setup. So here I have given the input to the port number 1. Now if you are interested in checking the output at the port number 2, your other two ports must be matched terminated. Okay, so here I have given the input to the port number 1. I'll match terminate my port number 4 यहाँ पे. I'm match terminating my port number 3 also, and I'm out checking the output at port number 2. So if I am checking the output at the port number 2, here you can see my CRO is set on the 20 millivolt and I am getting near about half of the 1 division. So I can say I am getting a 10 millivolt when the input is given to the port number 1. So I can say, or I can write that reading on my observations, that whenever the input is given to the one port, the output at the port 2 will be 10 millivolt. Now let us check what output you are getting at the port number 3. Whenever your port number 3 will be the output port, other two ports will be match terminated, that is port number 2 and port number 4. So here my port number, you can say 4 is already match terminated. I am terminating my port number 2 with the match termination. I'll just set my CRO because I know that I'm going to get a bit more output over there. And at the port number 3 I am checking the output. So I can see on the CRO near about 0.6 volts I am observing. So here I'll write the reading of the 0.6 volt on my observation table. So here the output is at the port number 3. So that is nothing but the I am observing it on the port number 3, that is 0.6 volts. Now port number 4, whenever you are checking the output at the port number 4, your 2 and 3 ports must be the match terminated. Okay? Now the only one instruction, whenever you are removing these things, your waveguide will be open. Don't look directly into the open waveguide as it may damage your eyes. So let us take the output at the port number 4. So I am connecting my detector mount to the port number 2 and I am terminating my other 2 ports with the match termination. So it's a bit tricky. So I am connecting these 2 with the match termination and I am observing the output. Let us connect this properly in this way so it will not move. So I am checking it at the port number 4 and you are observing the output on the CRO over there. Connect it very finely so you can see that the output which you are observing on the CRO is nothing but the near about, I can say 1 division into 0.5 volts, near about 1 division into 0.5 volt. So I can write it as a 0.5 volt over there on the observation cycle. And similarly the same kind of the things I'll repeat for the other ports and I'll write down the reading. So let us write down output at the port number 4 is 0.5 volt. There may be some of the losses because of not properly connecting the, you can say, the match terminations, otherwise different match termination values. Now let us take the readings for another ports and then we'll do the calculations.
Now we have taken all the readings for the E-plane T, whereas we can observe when the 1 volt input is given to the port 1, we observed at port number 2 and 3 we get a 0.7 volt. Whenever we are giving something to the port number 1, equally we can say divides in 2 and 3, port number 2 1 volt is given, you can observe that P1 output is 0.7 volt and P2 output is also a 0.7 volt. P3 1 volt is given, P1 gets a 0.7 volt and P2 gets a 0.7 volt. Now let us talk about the first port characteristic, that is nothing but the coupling factor. Coupling is the term which is always we can say the express in the auxiliary arm and in the, you can say, main arm. So here 1 2 are nothing but the collinear arms and your port 3 is nothing but the port which is to the auxiliary arm. So here whenever we are talking about the coupling factor, you can say अगर आप 3 को कुछ input दे रहे हैं, if you are giving something to the port number 3, how much power gets coupled into port number 1 and 2. So whenever I am talking about the coupling factor of the E-plane T, I'll say is the ratio of 10 log to the base 10 P3 by P1, but here we are not talking in terms of the power, we are talking in terms of the voltage. That's why this particular formula becomes 20 log to the base 10 V3 by V1. So your V3, the input given to the port number 3 is, you can say, the 1 volt and the output we are getting at the port number 1 is nothing but a 0.7 volt. So if you calculate this particular coupling factor for the E-plane T, you will get a 3 dB. So this particular, you can say, E-plane T is also called as the 3 dB coupler. Okay? Now whenever we are talking about the insertion loss in the collinear arm, whatever loss you will observe will be called as the insertion loss. So here we can see 20 log to the base 10 V1 by V2, otherwise you can say 20 log to the base 10 V2 by V1, whereas we are getting 1 by 0.7. Again you will get the insertion loss same as the previous one, that is a 3 dB. So this is all about the E-plane T. Now let us talk about the H-plane T. Now I have taken all the readings for the H-plane T. So 1 volt, again you will find the same kind of the outputs over here. So let us talk about the coupling factor, as we are getting the same readings over here. Whenever I am talking about the coupling factor, I will take the ratio of V3 by V1, otherwise V3 by V2, which is nothing but the 20 log to the base 10 1 by 0.7. Again this will be the 3 dB. Similarly, insertion loss in the collinear arms, I'll get the 3 dB. So this is something which we have got for E-plane T and H-plane T. Now let us talk about the EH-plane T. So here we can see I have taken all the readings. I have demonstrated you how we can connect the port 1 and how we can get the powers to the 2, 3, 4. Similarly, I have calculated or I have connected it for a port 2 input, for 3 input and a पोर्ट 4 इनपुट एंड आई हैव गॉट दिस काइंड ऑफ द रीडिंग्स. ठीक है, जब आप 2 को कुछ भी देते हो आपका 1 में बहुत कम आता है. 3 and 4 you will get 0.6 and 0.5 volt respectively. Port 3 1 volt, 2 and 3 equal power, you can see 0.6 and point you can say port 4 0.002 volt. ठीक है, so here we can say that whenever we are talking about the EH plane T, ideal characteristic says that whenever you give something to the port number 1 2 1, these are in the isolation. 3 and 4, these are in the isolation, but practically we get some power over there. Now let us calculate how we are going to calculate the coupling factor. So as I have already told you, coupling factor is the factor you talk always in, you can say, the port which is on the main arm and to the auxiliary arm. So 3/1, otherwise 4/1 ratio. So here whenever I am talking about this particular power or the coupling factor, whenever the input is given to the port 3 and output you are checking at the port 1. So जब आप input 3 को देते हैं 1 को 0.6 मिलता है, 1 volt and output is a 0.6. So when you calculate this, this is nothing but the 4.43 dB. Or if you calculate in port number 4 and port number 1, it is near about 6 dB. So this is the coupling factor. When I talk about the isolation, either you can take the ratio of 1 2 or 2 1, or you can take the ratio of 3 4 or 4 3. ठीक है, so 20 log to the base 10 V1 by V2, 1 volt is given to the one port and you are getting 0.01 to the port number 2. So here I am getting it as a 40 dB, or if you calculate here I am getting a 54 dB, where input is given 1 volt and output I am getting at port number 4.002. Ideally your 1 2 and 3 4 ports must be in the isolation. Though they are collinear ports, you should not get any power over there. That's why EH plane T is also called as the magic T. So this is all about the port characteristics of the T's. We'll stop here. Thank you.